little clips like you see how like man him was talking and then somebody else talked like in his crew. That's what get me up. Like that's what makes me like I always want to prove to somebody that I'm like.
Time is ticking, but it might be ticking faster for Lamont Roach than for anyone else. Roach is about to step into the ring against an undefeated boxer with 28 knockouts. Well known as the face of boxing, the man who has defeated him twice before. And as if the psychological weight of facing Tank wasn't enough, Tank has been adding more fuel to the fire with his short-worded warnings.
Now, I promise you, you better leave them home. You better leave the females home. On my mother, you better leave the females home and the kids. On my mother. Yeah. Now watch this. Now watch.
Lamont Roach may be confident in his skills, stating that none of this threatens him, but deep down, he knows he could very well become the 29th knockout on Tank's resume. Tank made that crystal clear in a recent press conference.
9th round. What? I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. He looked at 9th.
I'm telling you saying you going down in a 9th?
While some boxing fans may not view this fight as a blockbuster event, there's a major event, there's a group of insiders who believe Roach could be the perfect opponent to test Davis, known as the Reaper. Roach has built a reputation for surprising his opponents with both power and skill, something Tank has even acknowledged. There's even talk that Roach could pull off a massive upset. If that happens though, it's a big if. It would send shockwaves through the boxing world, further elevating Roach's career while dampening Davis's final chapter.
He took this fight for the naysayers and all that people talk about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together. And
this fight has not come together easily.
This fight didn't come together easily. There were numerous delays leading up to the announcement, testing fans' patience and fueling speculation that the fight might never happen. At one point, Davis even announced that the fight had been cancelled, much to the disappointment of boxing fans worldwide. However, things have settled, and both fighters are now deep in preparation, training hard and focusing on their game plans for what is shaping up to be one of the most highly anticipated bouts of the year. But even with the fight officially back on, Davis couldn't resist stirring up some heat. He recently posted a cryptic message on X that left fans worried and confused.
Big bro coming out with the upset. A lot of people are going to pick Tank going into that fight, but how do you see that playing out?
I see my brother walking out victorious. But there's no doubt, not because that's my brother, but because I seen him.
Davis's post on X simply read, "Fighting for my life." Those 4 words immediately caught the attention of his millions of followers, sparking a storm of speculation. What exactly did he mean by that? Was he referring to a personal struggle, such as mental health issues? Or was he talking about the intensity of his training camp and the significance of this fight? The ambiguity left fans scrambling for answers.
During the recent press conference leading up to the fight, Davis shed some light on what he's been going through. He spoke openly about how the demands of boxing have taken a toll on his mental well-being. "Boxing's been my life, but it's weighing heavy on me. Now I'm thinking more about my family than the ring these days," he admitted. For years, Davis has been seen as one of the toughest fighters in the game, but even the strongest champions have their breaking points. His honesty struck a chord with many fans who understand just how much pressure comes with being at the top of the sport.
Being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show up.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
I ain't worried about that.
In the hours following his cryptic post, Davis's social media comments were flooded with messages from concerned fans. One fan wrote, "That sounds scary," capturing the general unease that many felt after seeing the tweet. Another fan tried to offer encouragement, writing, "Keep fighting, champ," in an effort to lift Davis's spirits. These types of supportive comments have become common whenever Davis shares something deeply personal. His fan base has developed a close bond with him over the years, witnessing his highs and lows, and now rallying behind him once again. Another fan echoed what many were thinking, writing, "Damn,
That's cryptic. The vagueness of Davis's message left much room for interpretation, and many fans couldn't help but wonder what he was really trying to say. Was it a warning that something was wrong, or was it simply a reflection of his determination to give his all in this fight? Whatever the case, fans were left on edge, eager for more information. One fan, showing genuine concern for Davis's well-being, wrote, "Stay safe, champ," followed by, "Keep going."
Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter.
Despite all the speculation, Davis didn't let the conversation linger in uncertainty for too long.
Despite all the speculation, Davis didn't let the conversation linger in uncertainty for too long. Shortly after posting his cryptic message, he shared another update. 4 weeks away. This short and direct statement seemed to indicate that Davis was fully focused on the upcoming fight. Whatever emotional or mental hurdles he may be dealing with, he appears ready to channel that energy into his performance in the ring. This fight is especially significant because Davis has already announced that 2025 will be his final year in the sport. That means every fight from now on is part of his farewell tour. Fans are expecting Davis to go out on a high note, and he seems determined to leave behind a legacy that cements his place among the greats. This could be one of his last chances to prove himself, and he's preparing to give it everything he's got.
It's the wrestling fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach always, he come to fight, and I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, oh, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
The tension between Davis and Lamont Roach reached a boiling point during the press conference. The two fighters traded verbal jabs, and Davis suddenly exploded with an intense warning directed at his opponent. "I will tear you apart," he shouted, making it clear that he had no intention of taking this fight lightly. But Roach wasn't intimidated. "You've been running scared for months now. It's time to back those words up," he responded, matching Davis's intensity. The exchange showcased just how personal this fight has become. Davis, known for his fiery temperament, is clearly feeling the pressure, but Roach is determined to prove that he's not just another name on Davis's resume.
For real. I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
The whole hood over there. Like,
The press conference concluded without any physical altercations, but the verbal exchange left a strong impact. Fans and analysts are now more excited than ever to see how this fight will unfold. Will Davis's anger fuel a dominant performance, or will Roach use that emotion against him? The mental aspect of the fight is as critical as the physical one, and both fighters are executing their strategies perfectly. Throughout his career, Davis has cultivated a loyal fan base that has supported him through both victories and personal struggles. This latest chapter in his journey adds another layer to Davis's complex story, with his fans ready to back him every step of the way.
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the
move that head, bob and weave.
One fan, confident in Davis's resilience, wrote, "Tank's been through worse. He'll come out of this stronger." Another added, "This fight's going to be special. You can see it in his eyes." These comments reflect a deep connection Davis shares with his supporters. They view him not just as a boxer, but as a fighter in every sense of the word. With less than 4 weeks until the fight, anticipation is intensifying. The bout is scheduled for March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and both fighters are increasing their intensity. Training clips and bold statements only add to the hype. However, some critics question whether this fight will truly deliver. Could it be just another match designed to keep Davis active rather than challenge him?
Can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why Gervonta.
Lamont Roach Jr. stirred things up with a bold upset prediction. After Premier Boxing Champions posted a promotional clip of Davis on Instagram, Roach reshared it with the caption "Upset Alert," sparking debate in the boxing community. Roach's record is an impressive 25-1, with 10 KOs, and while he's earned respect in the super featherweight division, he has yet to face an opponent of Davis's caliber. Roach's TKO victory over Fall MCC showcased his dominance, but fighting Davis at lightweight presents a whole new challenge. Many fans regard Davis as a knockout machine, with his most recent win being an 8th-round stoppage of Frank Martin in June. His knockout power has been consistent for over a decade, and few fighters have managed to go the full distance with him. Despite the odds, Roach remains undeterred. His confidence raises questions about whether he knows something others don't. Could his team have spotted a weakness in Davis's style or conditioning? Or is Roach simply trying to get inside Davis's head? A recently surfaced training clip of Davis, showing him working on hand speed with trainer Patrice Boo Harris, quickly went viral. Reactions were mixed. While some fans praised his rapid uppercuts and intensity, others were disappointed, suggesting that Davis appeared slower than usual. Some even claimed that Shaka Stevenson would easily outmatch him in a speed contest.
Would you be content if you won this and that's your last fight? Or nah, still some more heads you gotta put on the wall?
Yeah, it's definitely some more heads to put on the wall, for sure. But
there has also been backlash regarding the fight itself. Many fans questioned why Davis is facing Roach instead of top names like Shaka Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Vasyl Lomachenko. One vocal fan commented, "This isn't the fight we wanted. Tank should be challenging himself, not taking easy fights." A key factor in this matchup is the weight difference. Davis is a natural lightweight, while Roach competes in the super featherweight division. Moving up in weight could disadvantage Roach, as Davis is known for his power and ability to absorb punches. However, Roach's speed and agility could help him neutralize Davis's strengths, especially if he can avoid Davis's power shots and control the fight's pace. An upset might not be as far-fetched as it seems.
It's gonna be a party
and
on your
I'm
floor.
let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking
it's
on
gonna
the what's
be-
the name? He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
on my kids. He was shaking on this. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say it's cap? And
It gotta be.
You gonna say it's cap? I'm watching it. Gotta be.
Gervonta
Davis has long been a target of criticism, and the pressure is growing for him to take on tougher opponents. Fans want to see him face marquee matchups with fighters like Stevenson, Haney, or Lomachenko. Anything less feels like a missed opportunity. With Davis in his prime, every fight is crucial, and fans are becoming wary of matchups that seem like mere placeholders rather than genuine tests. That said, Davis's camp may be playing the long game by keeping him active in the ring, potentially preserving his longevity in the sport. Still, boxing is as much about legacy as it is about victories, and Davis's legacy won't be solidified until he faces the best of the best.
I know Lamont Roach, but when you're looking at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fights that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come but don't come and come at me.
Yeah.
And go, oh yeah, let's.
For Lamont Roach Jr., this fight represents the opportunity of a lifetime. A victory over Davis could catapult him to superstardom, leading to bigger paydays and title shots. Roach's confidence, combined with his solid boxing fundamentals, makes him a dangerous opponent. If he can survive Davis's early onslaught and drag the fight into the later rounds, anything is possible. Kenny Ellis, Davis's coach, has defended the matchup, saying that Roach is a tough and skilled fighter. However, many fans criticize it as another example of Tank avoiding higher-risk fights. While Ellis praises Roach's pedigree, fans remain skeptical, seeing the bout as another safe and uninspired contest. Ellis has pointed to Roach's impressive amateur pedigree, claiming that he's a 7-time national champion, which looks impressive on paper. However, that amateur success hasn't fully translated to the professional level. Roach's record is respectable, but not stellar. With a loss to Jamal Herring and a narrow win over Hector Luis Garcia, a fighter whom Tank knocked out with ease, critics argue that Ellis may be inflating Roach's reputation to make the fight appear more competitive than it really is.
When they start talking, when the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't
y'all
do
talk.
shit.
For real. Y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all be quiet.
Fans aren't just frustrated with the choice of Roach, they're fed up with a pattern throughout Davis's career. Tank has often been accused of fighting opponents who are smaller, less powerful, or simply not on his level. Critics argue that Tank should be facing top-tier lightweights like Andy Cruz, Raymond Morala, William Zepeda, Edwin De Los Santos, or Keyshawn Davis. Many of these fighters have called out Tank or expressed interest in a matchup. Ellis, however, insists that Tank isn't ducking anyone, claiming that other fighters either price themselves out or turn him down. Fans, however, aren't convinced. After all, Tank is a superstar, and there's no shortage of boxers eager for a shot at him.
I'm gonna beat his ass. Y'all talking. Y'all better be quiet.
Ellis's comments about the sparring history between Tank and Roach also raised eyebrows. He mentioned that they sparred multiple times as amateurs, with Tank coming out on top. Ellis downplays the importance of these sparring sessions, insisting that past opponents who claim to have beaten Tank in sparring ultimately lost on fight night. However, these sparring stories do little to excite fans about this matchup. and may even reinforce the idea that Tank's team is opting for familiarity and safety over genuine challenges. Ellis also claimed that Tank simply loves to fight regardless of whether the opponent is a marquee name or a lesser-known contender.
Well, who said that? You said
My
what?
man over
You
there
said
said
what?
bet.
Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want?
Ellis seemed indifferent when discussing potential fights against Shocker Stevenson or Vasyl Lomachenko, saying, if those guys choose to fight him one day, they can get it. If not, life goes on. This casual attitude frustrates fans who want to see Tank pursue legacy-defining bouts. Ellis's remarks suggest that his team is content with keeping Tank active and less challenging fights rather than pushing him toward greatness. Some fans and analysts believe Ellis is merely trying to sell a fight that nobody truly wants. If Ellis were more honest about the backlash, it might show that they are aware of the criticism. Instead, he focuses on Roach's amateur accolades and makes excuses about other fighters not being available.
Would you consider you and Gervonta friends?
Friends, probably.
Is it gonna be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all gonna be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I just make him bleed.
True.
One of the most contentious points is Ellis's claim that Tank isn't responsible for the lack of high-quality opponents. He repeatedly emphasized that Tank's team tried to secure bigger fights but was unsuccessful due to the high demands of opponents. However, boxing insiders and fans alike have questioned how true this is. Fighters like Andy Cruz and Keyshawn Davis, up-and-coming stars, would likely accept any offer to face Tank, and other fighters like Raymond Marola and William Zepeda, on impressive streaks, and could easily be positioned as credible challengers. The fact that none of these names were chosen raises questions about whether Tank and his team are deliberately cherry-picking easier opponents.
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being ducked leading up to this. Shakur Stevenson.
Fans want to see Tank face the best, plain and simple. His talent and knockout power are undeniable, but his resume has been criticized for lacking marquee wins over elite competition. A fight against a fighter like Shakur Stevenson or Vasyl Lomachenko would represent a massive challenge and could elevate Tank's career to new heights. However, as long as fights like the one against Lamont Roach Jr. continue to be made, fans will keep wondering whether Tank is avoiding the toughest competition. Kenny Ellis's defense of this fight hasn't done much to change public perception, and while he may genuinely believe in Roach's abilities, the fight feels underwhelming compared to what fans were hoping for.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go, Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds, then he's going to download the data, then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8, then he going to do the backflip, then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys, and they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, who do you want next? He say, I want.
Ellis's comments about fighters pricing themselves out or turning Tank down may contain some truth, but they also sound like excuses. Tank is a star capable of drawing huge pay-per-view audiences, and there's no shortage of fighters eager for a shot at him. Fans will keep demanding more, and if fights like this continue, Tank's legacy could take a hit. Ultimately, Ellis's job is to protect and promote his fighter, but in doing so, he may be unintentionally drawing attention to exactly what fans are upset about: a lack of risk, marquee matchups, and a constant search for easier, safer fights. If Tank Davis wants to silence his critics and solidify his place as one of the best in the sport, he'll need to start taking on the fights fans actually want to see. Until then, comments like Ellis's will only fuel the narrative that Tank is playing it safe. That said, boxing is unpredictable. Roach has the skills to make this fight more competitive than people expect, and if Davis comes in underprepared or overconfident, an upset could be on the horizon. Whether this fight turns out to be a showcase for Davis or the start of a new chapter for Roach, one thing is certain: March 1st will be a night to remember. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.